Thank you, Anuttara, for coming on this talk. So, I wanted to share about the stars. But before we talk about stars, let's also look at Mahashivaratri. In India, today is the great night of Mahadev, Lord Shiva. And it's the night of Amavasya. Amavasya is the new moon, darkest moon. So this is the connection between physical world and the spiritual world. So there's very thin void. It's very easy, free flight to spiritual realms. That's why new moon is very important. And Shiva is the destroyer of illusions. He's in charge of destruction. He also represents the stillness which the whole creation very much depends on. So it's not by coincidence, I guess, that tomorrow is solar eclipse and tonight already Amavasya begins. The window of Shivaratri is coming in this. Always it comes on Amavasya, and it happens to be also Monday. That's also very interesting. So this eclipse, it's generally new moon is about beginnings, but this particular new moon, because of this eclipse, etc., it's going to be about endings. Because before we build anything new, we must allow the great destroyer Mahadev to dissolve old things. For example, all old documents that we live our lives based on, or the broken truths, some things that we are clinging on to, the small ways that we are playing the game of life. Even if, by the way, eclipse is not visible, probably is not visible in Germany, it's not visible in India either. Only in some places it's visible, but still the impact is on humanity. So this particular eclipse is very unique because this is also, in the Chinese Lunar New Year, it is actually, and also what we call as Aditya Lunar New Year. It's a Vedic concept of the Adityas. So this, we can't not look at the changes coming up. It's very useful, this particular tomorrow's eclipse, for the whole year. And it's hard not to predict because we know that a lot of shift is happening in the world, a lot of changes are happening. It's very important time. What I have here is actually a chart eclipse of the 2008, because to understand the power of tomorrow's solar eclipse, and also the lunar eclipse is coming on 3rd March. So some of you may be facing health issues, losing certain people, changing jobs. A lot of things will be shifting already, big shifts, because lunar and solar eclipse is coming within 15 days of time. So my teacher, one of my astrology teachers, is Ernst Willem, and I was watching his videos, and he always goes beyond pop astrology. Like Anuttara always tell me, like, no, many astrologers just do it for entertainment. No, they don't do like more in transformational. So my astrology teacher is very beyond pop. He doesn't just go, this is my sign, what is going to happen for me. That's not the focus. We need to look at the bigger picture. So we have to look back 500 years ago. He was explaining that this every eclipse, it belongs to a family, is called the Saros cycle. And this cycle of Saros was born or began in May 23rd of 1557. So really 500 years ago, we have to go back. Let's imagine for a moment the world then. Time of explorers and architects mapping the unknown. There was no technology, that kind of thing. That's different mystical technology. And the original chart, if we go 1557, the moon was influenced by only one planet. That was Pluto. In Vedic astrology, generally Pluto is not considered, but Pluto is very important in tropical astrology and for humanity. He moves very slow, but when he shifts, it's a seed, Pluto is like the Pluto seed. It means the entire cycle spanning centuries, actually. So it's about destruction of very old ways of living for a human being, something that a false truth that people hang on to. It's like a clinical surgery when Pluto shifts. It doesn't allow half-hearted efforts and shortcuts. It's like Pluto is the planet of transformation, how to create a life together. So right now we are looking on the screen 18 years ago. This is 2008 chart, and you can see Moon and Rahu are here together. February was the eclipse, so Moon is the solar eclipse. So lunar eclipse, we would have to see when the lunar eclipse happened in February, or probably it was the lunar eclipse actually that my teacher was speaking of. So that comes around the 20th Feb. Need to take a look. Can you check check if on 2008, when was the eclipse? Is it useful? Are you finding it interesting?
Oh, yeah. Oh, can you? Oh, okay. Yes. Yes, actually, because I can see the changes you're talking about already in the situations that are happening. So it's very, very interesting. Thank you so much.
Yeah, some things will break down so we can build new, many things. Even maybe managerial administration level, there will be some changes.
Okay, so I found looks like 21st of February,
Yeah,
a total lunar eclipse occurred.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it was the lunar eclipse we're talking about. Okay, that will resume. Yeah, so it was between 20th and 21st of February that total lunar eclipse occurred. We just double checked. And that was the last time that we were looking at this kind of eclipse gateway where there was global financial collapse, if you remember. The whole unsustainable systems of humanity collapsed. So this is what happens during eclipses, that we are trying to do something unsustainable as human beings. So it will be shattered. And personally, when you look in your own life, 2008, look back in your life, that was your warning shot for your own internal and external things in your life. If you discovered, let's say, like in my life, I've discovered certain leaks in my situation, certain workers I have, there was a breach of trust. Different projects, I had to fire a particular team and I had to hire. So I couldn't see this. Whatever I started in like 2008 was a time the shift was happening, and the message is going to end. It's like the final exam of what started in 2008. The foundation that I tried to build back there, we tried to build in 2008, is no longer strong enough for our growth for the next coming cycle. So we are moving from the surviving to architecting like a new legacy. A lot of people are moving back from the US back to India. They're getting back into agriculture. Lot of shifts are happening. So many firings are happening. So this incomplete documents in our life, the ideas, the dreams, the projects, that we put it on the shelf and we just went and worked for some corporate company and made them rich, many of us may have that situation. Now is the time, because it's falling in the tropical astrology is falling in the final degree. I should actually shift the chart to now. That's tomorrow. The eclipse is, so the chart. Again, I mean, I'm not into showing you the super technical things, but I'm just kind of, the solar eclipse is the final exam. That's my point here. We are being asked to take our raw wisdom. How are we supposed to live? Are we supposed to live? What tools will function for us? And we get thinking of grand scheme, not just giving our lives away for some corporate companies to build on theirs, and then we spend all the money buying branded stuff and paying mortgage and live rest of the life in a life is over, game over, and then you really didn't do your life anyway. So tomorrow is eclipse is let's see what is happening tomorrow. The Adityas, my astrology teacher Ernst Willem, he speaks a lot about Adityas. I'll give in the video link below if you want to find out more what is Adityas. Is very important, exciting concept of Vedic astrology. So this eclipse is falling in the Aditya of Mitra. Mitra means the friend. So in a global sense, Mitra represents the law of potential. Are we going to use technology, or is technology going to lose us? Everything in this world has dual potential, both for creation and destruction. And I already see a lot of people, what 80s, what we were able to do, kids don't even do that today. It's completely calculator dependent. It's completely like dependent on computers. And many astrologers, they don't even know how to do the chart manually. Everything is based on computer. Whether we think of technology, medicine, diplomacy, we will experience some sort of insufficiency in our human capacity. And because Mercury here happens to be part of the eclipse, so it's going to kind of reveal, it's a central part of this eclipse. It's going to reveal the future impact on innovation. So we are moving from a period of trial and error, which we are, with the AI and everything, we're work in progress, which is a new standard now. Everybody needs to know AI if they have to work in this world today. So there is a very, very massive shift. It's also coming up now with how we communicate, how we learn. So this is like the trigger of the collective humanity, like aha moment where we look at, oh my God, how dependent we are on internet, how dependent we are on. We will face very extreme pressures to align to that truth of ultimately technology cannot even produce food, cannot. Whatever it could do, it cannot produce food. So we'll go back to that. There is like going to be a social evolution. People will no longer be ready to live in ways that maybe feels inauthentic. The shift is already kind of we started it, I would say, with Saturn moving and many Neptune moved first and then Saturn moved, and how this eclipse is going to like push us more about our true identity than what is pop culture. And we were discussing about pop astrology. A lot of people are into pop astrology. So much ego centered. On this eclipse, my teacher was saying that this eclipse has this very strong influence of Saturn and Pluto. So it's like a detox moment. He called it like the ego poop. To move to higher potential, to give up the old waste, which has to be eliminated. Most of the problems is because of selfishness. And now even the economic or social structures, they are not nourished. Right now, it's not about people at all. So this will be dismantled. I think it's already happening. A lot of people are losing their jobs. I have so many clients asking me, oh, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my green card. All this is happening. What's happening? What's happening? So let me tell all of you that the impact or the mandatory lesson is collective patience. Need a collective patience when we're dealing with, and I'll give you a few more tips. 10-year plans right now in this eclipse period, this month, next month, because eclipse effect remains for at least 3 weeks before the eclipse and after the eclipse is strong. Be willing to try something which without long-term plans. Learn the lesson, improve immediately, and try to see things as a process, not as a destination. Don't become attached to one country, one job in that way. And very important is nervous system care. This explosion that's happening during this eclipse time, especially the lunar eclipse, is more negative than the solar one. The one's happening tomorrow it's kind of a needed shock for tomorrow. But the lunar eclipse that's happening on March 3rd, maybe we'll talk about it in another video, but we have to deal a lot with personal frustration, external problems like that. So let's not mix our personal frustration with our bigger, larger external problems. Before you become upset or take it personally with your boss or whatever, or you with the government because they are wrong and I'm frustrated, all these things can come up. Or maybe you're angry with the administration, you're trying to call out somebody, all these things will come up because there's a lot of this Pluto Mars outbursts. Mars is the cause of wars, triggers wars. So if it would be nice on an individual level it's okay to look stupid. It's okay to take a little ego blow. Not right now in this period of few months or few weeks. Let go. Don't try to be right. If you realize that old way is not working, old team is not working, old certain patterns are not working, drop it immediately. Because once this settles, this weeks of settled habit, it will be difficult to give up. But if you've been working on giving up some bad habits, perfect time. This eclipse is like you can give up addictions, bad habits, old habits, and you can pick up very quickly because nourishment is their Mitra. This is Aditya of Mitra, the eclipse is happening. Dump, poop it out, whatever is not working. So you can eat your new pizza or pasta or whatever. Because if we don't poop, we can't eat new food. Look for collaborators. Pay attention to new people entering your sphere of life. And this eclipse brings good friends, good sangha, good association, a good conversation like that. And we can talk about specific signs if you're a specific ascendant, how that hits your individual chart. But I want you to listen to this Shivaratri mood of like Shiva. He drank the poison to save the world. So the ultimate remedy for us is to think, not become self-obsessed. to stop looking at our little problems of today, my life, my job, my this, my desires, and look at the bigger architecture of where the humanity is going. Take a little tool. Don't just become dependent on the system, because this eclipse will create a vacuum. It'll create a sort of emptiness. And in that emptiness, you can build a future. You'll be surprised if you tried some things, if you increase the price of your products, you will be surprised with a good response. So don't be afraid. Don't hold on to the poop. Saturn represents the poop. It's letting go. It takes away. Sometimes it forcibly takes things away. So we can clear out, so we can build something. Tomorrow we're beginning that construction. All right. And
That's very interesting. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the main topics are then learning and communication. If you want to say something more about that, how can we take a chance, to do something new in this
yeah,
transit, especially? Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So, actually, to answer your question, we would have to go and understand which one is your rising sign, means the first house for you, and how that will impact. Okay. So we can start with yours is Pisces, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay, we can start with Pisces and then we go about next like that. So, because the eclipse is happening in Aquarius, see, that's where the eclipse is happening. For you, it will be happening in your 12th house, correct? Your rising sign is Pisces, eclipse is happening in your 12th house. And what is 12th house? This is your 12th house, Aquarius. So your 12th house means the subconscious, the solitude, liberation. Also represents some sort of loss, more subtle loss. So the impact is the veils, the things are thin for you. The eclipse may activate your dream life. Your goals may come up to surface. You may feel more connected to yourself, to divine, and also you may experience some unexpected expenses that may come up, because 12th house always has some expenses. Also, you may experience a little bit isolation. Oh, what am I doing here? Or like something comes up, and then you may need to let go of what you can no longer carry, whatever the burden, whatever the responsibility you've been feeling, this is too much for me, or something. This may be a time to like let go. And one tip can be, turn this experience of the 12th house thing, which we'll experience for a few months, make it more sacred solitude. Schedule more time for meditations, digital detox, something that nourishes you, something that leaves your life during this lifetime. Means getting rid of some habits, getting rid of some things that are not really nourishing you, and trusting the process of subtraction means transformation. You're making room for Mitra. Mitra is potential, but before the new pizza enters the digestive system, we need to clear out, so that clearing out, let it happen, so you will arrive at the next cycle. So yeah, we have to look at what is happening in our chart like this. And also look at a little bit if you have any planets in that house. If you have any planets in the Aquarius, that will also be relevant. It will be impactful exactly if it's happening in the same degree as eclipse. It's happening in the last degrees according to tropical, and this is sidereal, what I have on the screen. That's happening in the beginning of the sign. So you can see your degrees. Depending on which degree your planet who is in that house will get more impacted. And the closer the degree, the heavy the impact on that house. And for some people, maybe there's no planets in that house for you, but it is somehow some planet is there in your Aquarius. Then look at the dignity of that planet. If the planet is good in your chart, or is it a weak one? And something will be jolted in that area. Some kind of a transformation could happen in that area. Okay, let's move to Aries. Okay, if let's say Aries is your first house, your Lagna Lord is Aries, then your 11th house is affected. So what is 11th house? Social networks, gains, friendships, aspirations. So the impact will be that some disruption will be in those areas. Some rhythm, maybe you start feeling this group is not good for me anymore. I need to shift my group. I need to shift my strategy for my long term goals. I'm not getting any profit by being with these people. Or maybe certain friendships or professional networks, they're not really resonating with your evolving identity. It's not helping you. So the tip for you is audit your circle. Look at your sangha, look at the people that you hang out with, identify parts of your social life that might feel like an obligation rather than an inspiration. Hmm? And then use this time to step back from group politics, gossip, and focus more on internalizing your true desires for your future. Don't waste this opportunity like that, because it's easy to become frustrated with the group and turn against them or do some politics, or don't do that. That's very unhealthy. Stay on track with your own aspirations for growth. Okay, let's move to, and also again, same thing, if you have any planet there in the same degree in your 11th house, that's also very relevant for you. Moving to Taurus. If Taurus is your rising sign, your 10th house will be affected. 10th house is career, public status, authority, your dharma. Okay, what are your actions? What are your social public life? So you could be having a major professional life at a concluding stage. Maybe you're finishing some big project. Maybe you're shifting to a new location, promotion, demotion, firing. Something will be concluding there. This could manifest again like a sudden shift. You may move not only your role, maybe you change countries, publicly you move to a different place, and also how people see you. And if you've been ethical, see this solar eclipse, because Mitra is also a planet of what you've been wanting. If you've been working on good ethical integrity things, you will get that. But if you've been unethical, this might be a shock for you and like that. So if you've been ethical, this will be a shield for your career. So one tip for Taurus rising, I would say, is if you've been chasing a title for the sake of ego, if you've been just working for the sake of work and not really being authentic, stop pushing for external results. Focus on mastering your internal craft and work on integrity, dignity, not just for social status. That's what I would say could be very shifting. And if you're Gemini rising, your 9th house will be affected. 9th house is the belief systems, higher wisdom, father figures, gurus. 9th house is all those things. Also something to do with foreigners, some long-term contracts. So this is 9th house is the operating system, I would say. It's being upgraded for you. If you have some old dogmas, some spiritual teachers that you're following online, some bad gurus or something, it may be time to like lose it. Don't lose your luster trying to go for something just motivational and all that, but become more devotional. This may be personal time for you to connect with truth, higher truth. Think of mental expansion that is spiritual, something that will act in your favor in the times of crisis of faith. Don't go for something that is glittering. Go for the real guru, sadhu shastra. No, don't just go for something attractive for the sake of it. All right, next is Cancer rising. Cancer rising, it's 8th house is your affected house, or where the changes will come. 8th is the house of difficulties, challenges, secrets, deep transformation, shared resources, inheritance. All these things is ruled by 8th house. So the impact will be a little heavy duty for you, heavy duty cleansing of your house, of your whatever area of phase you are in, and on issues with inheritance, maybe taxes could be involved. Suddenly you get like a big tax thing. Oh my God. Or your partner's finances may suffer, even if it may not be in your name, because 8th house is shared resources. And then deeply on a subconscious level, you may fear to take risks. So that may be a phase. Even in relationships, you may feel scared. Should I commit this relationship? So in some of your cases, maybe there's some breakup type of situation may come. Like you may think kind of, maybe I don't want to be married to this person or something. That could be. Okay, Leo rising. Next is Leo rising. Leo rising, your seventh house, however, seventh house is partnerships, marriage, open enemies, others, basically. Seventh is the west, the east, the upper, the outside, others. So the rhythm of your one-on-one relationships might be shifting for you. If there have been some hidden imbalances in your marriage or business dealings, this eclipse will bring them to the surface. And it's a make or break moment for many partnerships, I would say. You will hear in the news people breaking up, people making partnership. You'll hear a lot of big people also getting into partnership, breaking up partnership, political allies, politically public enemies. All these things will come up as well in the, if you'll see. And the tip for you is do some internal family systems, work on your internal parts before you externalize your friends and enemies, acknowledge these exiles, hidden fears that may come up during this eclipse. So deal with it, bring it up to light. That's the first step towards healing. Okay. Next is Virgo rising. Oh, I didn't give a tip for Cancer. Cancer also, please deal with your internal parts, And Leo always has this. You get triggered by jealousy sometimes. Maybe you see others and you think of your own unmet needs. So instead of blaming maybe your partner, because seventh house is partners, instead of blaming your partners, look at your own needs. Look at how you can rewire your approach to compromise, to independence, to working on yourself. Seventh house, I would say, stop blaming others. Do think internal. Cancer also, go and see what healing you need. All right. Virgo rising. Virgo rising is basically affected the sixth house. It would be a sixth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Health, daily habits, debts, services. So your physical body, your daily schedule are signaling for a change. If you've been ignoring minor health symptoms, you may even end up in the hospital. Or you're accumulating toxic productivity habits, this eclipse will force you to reset. You may see people around you falling sick, becoming, you may see them as the pillars in the community working hard, and then you may see them falling sick in this time. So maybe something to do with maybe they have not balanced it. So it's a time to reset. If we didn't do it voluntarily, it will be forced to do it. Also, sixth house is workplace. You may find some friction, some misunderstandings may happen. And the tip I would give for Virgo rising would be simplify the system, like simplify your life. Find better way to manage your day. Edit your life ruthlessly. Take away unnecessary tasks. Focus on grounding rituals, breathing, clean eating, basic nervous system regulation so that you can handle workplace stress in a more effective way. Okay. Next is Libra rising. Libra, you'll be fifth house is your house of focus, creativity, children, romance, speculation. So it's a cycle where your creativity or artistic nature or even your relationship with children is reaching a turning point, something that you need to shift. So you may feel like a sudden urge to give birth to a new project or have a better relation with children. Let them be more free or take more care depending on how you've been doing. And you may even feel some hesitation with your romantic life if you're young and you're getting into marriage situation, and it may demand new perspective. Maybe your expectation of romance is unrealistic. You need to become more realistic about it, like that. And then tip I would give for Libra rising would be avoid like I said, be open to relationships, but avoid high risk relationships. Don't jump. Especially Mercury is going to be retrograde until March 20th, beginning from 23rd February. So I would be extremely careful to not start any new project, not join new job unless it was a job that was offered to you in the past or a relationship that you're reconnecting with somebody you knew in the past. Don't enter into new thing. This is for all signs, by the way, everybody, because Mercury is retrograde for everyone from 23rd February till March 20. This is a time to review, redo things, go back, not something new and fresh. And also use your, I would say, Libra rising, use your creativity for joy of it. Don't just think of making money out of it. Channel this. You may have this addictive thing, scrolling habits, those things. It's a good time to destroy them. Give up. All right, Scorpio rising. Ooh, fourth house, mother, home, roots, foundation, your inner security. So your sense of belonging is being tested, I would say. Fourth house is all about that. internal shifts, even physical residence. Could be there is a, maybe you finishing rent and moving to a new place, you're buying a new place, or you were about to buy and it didn't happen. All this could be like something unpleasant, something that you feel like, oh, I don't want it. Yeah, that could be major shifts regarding that. And also maybe something to do with your mother's health. Maybe fourth house, if it's triggered, it's a time when your private self, your family needs more attention than your public self. So if you are this ascendant, forget about work, whatever for now. Focus on your home, focus on these situations. And if things are chaotic at home, which I expect it to be, then focus on your internal emotional stability. Because some of you may have dysfunctional family members. Not very new, quite common these days. And so it may not be like, oh, you focus on them and they will love you. It may not be so easy. So then you internally go into internal stability, connect with ancestors, connect with acharyas, and that will help you. Teachers, great teachers. This will help you a lot to release negativity and go into that foundation, build something that is at home for you. Hmm? If your fourth house is affected with some Saturn or Rahu or some planets like that, you may have difficulty with the family, real family people. So that's why I'm suggesting you to do something more connecting with teachers like that. Don't become depressed. Become self-aware, but don't become self-obsessed and think, oh, this is a problem like that. Next is Sagittarius rising. For you is the third house of communications, siblings, thought travels, your skills, I would say also your courage. Third house is all these things. So the way you process or relay information is under fire. Caution there. Expect some mishaps in emails, especially with this Mercury retrograde coming up. Check contracts properly. Don't sign without checking the details. Interaction with your siblings. Be careful. Don't neglect. Don't say something harshly. Because your mental rhythm is also a little bit frantic. Nervous system regulation, again, avoid burnouts, misunderstandings. Be regulated. So begin in the right playing. And another tip is before you hit send, because nowadays you move your finger and you can say the harshest things in the world just by moving your fingers. So before you hit your finger or you speak in anger, wait 24 hours. Lunar cycle 24. Use this energy of this eclipse to find that rhythm in silence. Focus on, basically shut up before you, you burn bridges. Focus on learning new practical skills rather than trying to convince others of your opinions. Okay, focus on the raising your own knowledge. And okay, let's move to Capricorn. Capricorn, your second house eclipse is happening. Second house represents wealth, family. It represents values, speech, what you intake, including food. So this is your treasure chest, because second house is also self-worth. It can challenge how you earn money, how you speak your truth with your family. You might face some sudden expenses that forces you to reevaluate your financial safety net. And you may reconsider your value system. Why am I doing this? Also, you may want to increase the prices of your products, because if you worked on self-improvement, self-worth, you may be surprised again how well it could work out. And one other tip is define what wealth means to you, because a lot of the pop astrologers will say wealth in the second sense of money, bank balance. Having money does not necessarily make you feel secure. Having is different from being. So define what wealth means to you outside of the bank balance, and practice speaking, because second house is speech, with intention. Say only what is true, what is kind, what is necessary. I'm sure your parents taught you that already. So this will preserve your prana, the energy during eclipse. And then we have Aquarius rising. Aquarius rising, it's happening in your first house. So first house is body, self, your identity, your vision, your new beginnings. This is your personal new year on steroids. Because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the sidereal, we have 5 planets right there. So you will feel the pressure to evolve immensely. You may feel like you're shedding your skin, which could be physically exhausting, but it can be very spiritually beneficial. And one advice or tip is authenticity, radical authenticity. This is your time. Be what you truly wanted. With 5 planets here, you don't have to fit into your old version anymore. Use this Mars energy, very close there, Mars energy, to embrace your individuality, your ideas. And please, physical rest is non negotiable. Rest physically. Let this rebirth happen because sleep will be very important. Don't stay up late at night like that. So, those are some tips for all the signs. And Pisces, we already covered. Your 12th house, we started with Pisces today, which is unusual because all astrologers will start with Aries. We are different, so we started with Pisces and we ended with Aquarius, where the eclipse is happening. And we look forward to talk more about moon eclipse. And Anuttara, would you have any concluding words?
I think I would like to really, if you like, summarize the main messages, which I got as personally as this is the time to let go old ways, and you might wanna see very clearly the old ways so that this can help very much. This is the time now to really focus on what we want to develop, which qualities or which new habits also. I feel like, yeah, learning new things. And I loved when you said that the main impact is collective patience.
Mm.
So, okay, have the tolerance also, we can say, to get through this period of time.
Yeah.
And yes, thank you then.
Yeah.
You want to say something more
Thank you.
about it?
True. I like this, how you concluded, how you summarize, because not only our chart, there is everybody going through something because of the eclipse. Thank you. If you have questions, and let us know what is your ascendant and what you're going to do. What are you going to let go? And what are you going to imbibe so we can inspire each other? And I will put the links of my teacher's video down and then also the Aditya's video if you like to know more. And we look forward in the lunar eclipse video, I suppose. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Very warm.
Hi, Krishna.